This afternoon's English higher level paper 2 demonstrated one thing, that although there may be fake news, there are no fake stories. Every story has its own significance. In a series of precisely worded questions, the examination paper invited candidates to explore the relevance of literature to contemporary life and to their lives as well. For instance, the question on King Lear was on the human condition. The question on Robert Frost was on the darker aspects of his vision. On Elaine Quillinan, it was the relevance of the poetry to contemporary Ireland. And in comparative study, you had a question on the concept of socially unacceptable behaviour. It was a challenging but hugely thought-provoking and stimulating paper for that reason, and a wonderful follow-up to what was an excellent paper 1 yesterday. Breaking down into the various sections, the questions on King Lear, most candidates would have studied King Lear for their single text. The questions on King Lear were thought-provoking but not surprising. There were no surprises, no unwelcome surprises on the paper itself. There was a question on Shakespeare's King Lear as a play, as a drama, and decisive dramatic moments. And another question exploring the roles of the female characters, Cordelia and her 2 sisters. In poetry, the dreaded poetry section that many students worry about, there were no unwelcome surprises. The expected poets, the hoped for poets turned up. Each question was precisely worded and therefore much easier because of that to deal with. The only slight quibble I have is in the central section of the paper with comparative study. Here, as everybody knows, there are almost 40 prescribed texts for this section, from which candidates select 3 of their own. The problem here is that the more precisely you word the question, the more you risk excluding some of the text or some aspects of some of the text, and that can be a little bit baffling for students. So perhaps if I had one quibble and one recommendation, it would be to rethink perhaps again the whole concept of comparative literature. But that's a small quibble in what was an outstanding paper, an excellent paper. I was very happy with it, and I'm sure the students coming out of the exam hall were very happy with it as well. They would have enjoyed answering it.